Shaping of a Christian Family by Elisabeth Elliot.
On page 140, she uses an example of her father telling them the story of a boy who learned very early to trust his father's word implicitly and to obey instantly. He was playing one day on the railroad tracks. His father saw that a train was coming and had no time to rush to the boy's rescue. He called out to him to lie down at once between the rails. Without question or hesitation, the boy did so. The train roared overhead, leaving him uninjured. This was a solemn lesson to us in trusting the word of our Father and doing instantly what he told us to do. And I quote that because I've heard that several places now. Dobson used a version of the baby was not staying in the mother's nest when the mother told them to and getting eaten by a cat. On Twitter recently, there was a version about a snake, a father calling out and saying, "There's a snake, come to me." And the boy didn't, and a snake ate him. And then we have this. So I do think this was quite common storytelling way to essentially tell children to implicitly trust parental authority and obey instantly without question, and that it was for their own good. And I think there's two sides to this. On the one side, yes, that makes sense, and also fails to reckon with the potential negatives of teaching children to unquestioningly obey a parent. Again, like I talked about before, what if the parent's not benevolent? What if the parent doesn't have their child's best interest in heart? This kind of presumption, I think, needs to be examined and questioned. He does talk about on page 163, delayed obedience is disobedience. She says her parents sometimes said to them, delayed obedience is disobedience. And that was a general rule. Between the will breaking and will training conversation, there really was an understanding that spanking would be used to early on get compliance, get unquestioning compliance, and the expectation would be that children would not protest that they would be trained in that way.